Yeah, because there's no telling what they're going to say.
Sweet. I remember when I worked with contractors, they would get the 44-ounce size of the Speedway Pops
Yeah.
and then take paper towels and put it all around the outside edge and then just set a 22-ounce beer in it and then have the straw go through the top
That's
into the can of beer.
rather genius.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, they called it a road pop.
That's
And that's how
Those nice styrofoam cups, so
those
you
work.
don't even have to cover the.
Well, I'm just saying, if you have to, that is
there's always a way.
there's a way.
I've had red wine in flask before. Just you just do what you have to do.
Do what you have to do to get a buzz. Sometimes you have to. Good thing this is on the evening. We are bad influences.
It sucks. Like you go to a venue and you don't mind buying anything at a venue. But
Yeah.
when you go,
$8 for a water bottle?
yeah, when you go and your beer is like $18, you're like, you know what? I could have bought a 30-pack of PBR at Rolling Rock for $5 less than that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got hammered in the parking lot and then came in.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Boom, 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 boom. Welcome to another episode of Film Speak. Now, I have to tell you, this episode is going to be fucking cool. I have Stephanie Hensley and maybe a guest today. We'll see. But mainly, I'm just had to drag Stephanie Hensley back on. I know she's been on several times. She even co-hosted with me before. She is the author of Dane Granger, and now the filmmaker behind getting the movie Dane Granger made. It's finally finished. It's going to market, and you'll be able to, by the time this episode is out, find it, buy it, or rent it. And I highly recommend you seeing it. I was one of the lucky few who got an early preview, got to give her a critique of it, and I loved it. I mean, it's like this mishmash of David Lynch and 70s exploitation, French art house. I mean, just this wild ball of film inspiration that helps highlight her story of pain and struggle. I mean, fucking just check it out. But after you watch Stephanie Hensley and I discuss not just what she's been up to, but we're going to break down David Lynch's career. He's a big inspiration for both of us, and so we're just going to kind of talk a film retrospect, which has never been done on this show. You know, we've talked about films, but never like somebody's whole career. So stay tuned. I'm sitting here as kind of a special episode. We have Stephanie Hensley back, and she has bought a plethora of people from the movie Dane Granger.
Yeah, this is the Dane crew. We're getting ready to go on tour again. This is our reunion show.
She's my pleasure and my pain. And here she is, throwing herself at me.
Fuck me, Dane.
I have a feeling that to be Dane Granger, I must first destroy Dane Granger. Through destruction breeds creation.
You know why you're here, Dane?
My kind are hollow and soulless destroyers. Beware of us. We are ruthless. I killed Grace Harper.
You didn't kill anyone.
At this moment of loneliness, I really miss Maddie. I will always miss Maddie. She will be one of those people that I think of often. Then I think of Grace.
Go back to New York and forget her. She is an addiction that you have struggled with for a long time.
Maddie was odd, but she was real. My world, however, belongs to Grace. I do love her,
I know you do, but
but we're like fire and gasoline. No matter how honest or truthful we are with one another, there's just so much that we'll never say. Those damn Harper girls really have me in a mess. Sometimes wonder if my life would be better if I had never met either one of them. Grace Harper, together, we could rule the world. Separate, we will remain hell-bent on ruining each other.
too much left unsaid eventually becomes a lifetime of silence.
We are careless, and we will consume you. We are the monsters in the dark. We are people who just can't do the right thing. We feel moments of guilt, but at the end of the day, we can't change what we are. We let the darkness come out to play all too often.
Welcome back to Film Speak. Here we are in another episode. I am so excited. I love having Stephanie on the show. You've been a guest twice and a host once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like your fourth appearance on Film Speak.
Yeah.
I just can't get enough of having conversations with you. And if I have to manipulate to get you on the show just to talk to you, then fuck it, I will.
Hey, you can call me. Yeah, I'll come out anytime. Just give me some kind of notice. I'll come hang out.
Well, I guess the biggest, most exciting news is Dane Granger is done.
Finally.
It is finally done. It is being released.
Yep.
Will be available soon for renting and for buying.
Yep. We're going to have it on video on demand and then through Vimeo. And then I will have DVDs, and I'm probably going to do one more, like, I'll probably do, like, sets when I sell it, like, let it run for 2 weeks, place an order, that kind of thing, just because I don't want a huge inventory on hand.
Yeah.
But it's actually, the Midwest premiere will be June, the last Sunday in June at Indianapolis Days of the Dead.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, so this will be out before then. So if you see this, you want to go catch the premiere of Dane Granger, Days of the Dead in Indianapolis. That is awesome. I'm lucky. I felt so special because I got to see it before a lot of people did.
And we fixed the audio.
And you fixed the audio.
We fixed the audio.
That was the only beef that I had with the whole thing.
Yeah, so it got fixed. There was a filter on there that we missed on a couple scenes, and then we had some of the music turned up, which when I edit, the headphones I was using, in stereo, it's way different than when you put it on a TV and you're just like, what the hell did I just do? How did that happen?
I have a computer, like my laptop at home. I pretty much know if I'm watching something on it that the sound's not going to sound like how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, it just shit.
And that's how it was editing it. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what we did, it was like, well, it sounds good here, and then there were so many renders and burns and throwing it on TV, and if I never see Dane Granger again, I'll be happy. I think I've seen it more than Empire Strikes Back at this point.
Wow, that's
sitting
saying a
through
lot.
it just to make sure everything's right.
Well, that's what you have to do, though.
Yeah.
You know, it becomes like Rocky Horror, where you're watching it and you're like doing everybody's lines as they're doing it.
Yeah, And I'm to a point now, like if people watch it with me and they'll ask questions, I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it.
I-
I'm over explaining that. Just watch the damn movie,
Just
shut
watch
up
the
and enjoy
movie.
it.
Well, you know, it's very visceral, emotional. I mean, it's a wild roller coaster ride.
You should have lived it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, you know what? I have some moments in my life where we'll have to compare notes on that at this point because,
Yeah.
let's just say that I really related to the character and the experiences. Okay.
Most people have said that. Like if you have ever just had that moment where you fell for the wrong person.
Fell for the wrong person. I mean, I've always been the type of person where I try not to be this way, but I always have one foot in the underbelly, you know, and sometimes it's a whole leg.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's both feet first.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most part, I've never been able to escape that part of me where I like fighting. You know, I like raw people. You
Yeah.
know, I like because it's not a good thing. I don't want to advertise it like it's a good thing, right?
But it's a human thing.
It's a human experience, you know,
Yeah.
and without. I hate to say it, but without going through that kind of pain and process and being around those kinds of people and living and dwelling in darkness and everything, I don't think I would be as good of a writer.
I agree wholeheartently.
Yeah.
Like you cannot write about life until you experience life, and that's every aspect of it.
I read a lot of people's stuff, you know, and see films and stuff, where I'm just like, you can tell that these people didn't actually live these experiences.
Right.
You know, that they are writing from the perspective of somebody who thinks about that type of stuff instead of actually experiencing it.
Well, sadly, I experienced a lot of the Dane stuff.
Well, you know, and
I never bashed anyone's head in with a brick, but I thought about it.
No, I never used a brick.
I've never used a brick.
I will say that I've never used a brick. There might have been another blunt instrument or something, you know, but yeah, I never directly used a brick either.
Yeah, but I've thought about it.
You thought about it?
Yeah, I've thought about it. It sucked though. Like the book had so much more in it that I just couldn't convey to film because of.
Well, there's a lot of problems with that, you know, when you're trying to, well, you're taking a book where if you actually went through it, it'd probably be like a 5-hour movie if you tried to include
Yeah.
everything, you know. So you're editing it down. You're trying to still keep what's
Budget.
essential for character. Yeah, budget.
Budget.
Yeah. A lot of little pieces, but I think you did a wonderful job.
Thank
And the team that you put together, the actors you picked, Frankie,
Frankie's phenomenal.
freaking blows my.
I have been riding her ass. I'm like, every time something comes up, I'm like, audition, go,
Yeah.
go. I will drive you. Like, I will do whatever I have to. Like, don't stop. She jumped in it head first and nailed every aspect of it.
The supporting cast was great. Okay, you had a lot of wonderful actors, but she just outshone everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
When
And she had chemistry with every one of them. Like, it didn't matter what was going on. She was on it, like, and was able to just change to, I'm going to be this person for this person and this person for that person. And not,
chemistry and charisma.
she
because
better not stop, because if she does, I'll kick her ass.
When she was on screen, you couldn't help but watch her.
Yep.
She drew you more than anything else. You know, she drew you into the story and the plot.
Probably helped that she lived with me during that filming, so she was like, I was like, how do you smoke your cigarette like me? She's like, I know. I was like, that you can't do that.
Every time you turned around, she'd be
Like
little
my
notes.
My sister watched it and she's like, watch this. She's like, she's gonna touch her hair, and you've done that before when you've said things like that. Watch how she's leaning against that car. That's you. A friend from high school watched it and was like, dude, it was like watching you.
That's
seeing,
nuts.
And I was like, oh well, fucking actresses. Like I didn't see that coming. Like, no, she did great. I really hope she continues.
Yeah,
She has a lot of potential.
I hope she does too.
And that was, that's her first time.
Yeah.
Like she'd done some stage stuff in high school, in middle school, but that was her first time in film, and she was easy to work with.
Yeah.
Like I got very lucky, and that was an accidental casting.
Really?
She only got it because of her voice. Initially, like her audition was good, but there was another contender who had a looked more like me.
Yeah.
and did, an exceptional job. And then when Frankie read, I was like, with the amount of voiceovers,
That's the voice.
that voice has to be, like, it just,
But then she ended up nailing the character too.
she nailed every aspect of it.
It's just it's like one of those things like I couldn't see anybody else playing that role, Like,
Yeah.
like Jeff Bridges playing the Big Lebowski.
Yep.
Could anybody else be the dude? No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a couple people who followed the book and then watched the movie, and when they announced casting, they were like, I don't know about your lead. And like House of Tortured Souls, Amy, when she watched it, she was like, no one else could have done it.
Yeah.
She's like, I was the first person that questioned that casting. And she was like, no. She was like, it had to be her.
No. Once I watched it, there's nobody else who could
Yeah.
have could quite have hit that.
Yeah, she did a hell of a job. Of course, we let her actually drink on set. We all did. Brian was good until the last day of filming. And then the last day of filming, we had some Not Your Father's root beer, and he was like, you guys have been doing this right the whole time. like the whole time, you guys are doing this the right way. I was like, yeah. But, so that helped. It kind of, relaxed everyone. Because people were nervous.
Yeah.
Brandon Saylor, who played Walt, I've known him his entire life. That kid wrote me my first love letter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when I was casting, I called him. I was like, dude, you have to do me a solid. Like, you are this character. You are the nervous good guy.
Yeah.
Like the conscious, like you do everything right and you're loyal and you're honorable.
He did a really good job.
He did, because before filming, he'd be like, okay, all right. And he just would, as soon as him and like Frankie, their chemistry.
Well, in a lot of ways, you casted him to play himself.
Yeah.
So as long as he could just be himself in front of camera.
Yep.
And then Frankie, in a way, was playing you.
Yeah.
And so it helped recreate the same chemistry that
Yeah,
you and
they
him
did.
have.
They were great. Joanna was great.
Yeah.
Like, I approached her. I already knew that I wanted her to play the Maddie Harper character.
Which was that was a little creepy.
She did.
Yeah,
She
she
did
did a
all
good
her
job.
makeup and everything on that.
Wow.
Yeah. She showed up on set and made herself look dead
Every time.
every time. And she was a trooper, because the water in the hotel bathtub was cold. So when we shot in the hotel, we didn't have the heat on because of the sound.
So
And-
she just had to freeze for a
She
while.
had to freeze for a while. And then like the scene where like the hug scene in the hotel, we let them hug it out until Frankie was equally wet, because we're assholes.
I watched this Korean movie because anytime anybody bitches about being cold, basically they have this long continuous shot. This guy's running for several minutes naked through ankle height snow.
Yeah, no thanks.
And you could see like the blood from his feet, because he's running through the
Yeah.
snow and ice, and you could see after a while the little drops of blood from his feet while he's running. And I just thought, that's a freaking committed actor.
Yeah.
It's a crazy
Yeah.
motherfucker, but that
Yeah.
is a committed actor.
Yeah, I don't know if I would run through. I couldn't run through the snow. I mean, I have metal feet. They would lock up on me.
Well, enough money. Christ, anything for me can be negotiated. If I know I'm going to live through it, as long as there's that paycheck
At the end.
at the end, yeah, all right, beat me, abuse me, whatever. Whip me, beat me, I don't care. Okay, well, thanks for talking about Dane.
Thanks for having me.
Like we said, be looking for this for on demand on Vimeo. You're going to be able to order through, was it Amazon?
I'm actually going to do it through the Dane Facebook page and see how that goes.
Okay.
Amazon, I've looked into like
They're
their-
Nazis.
For the bonus, everything that I want to include on the DVD, it has
Oh,
to
yeah.
be at least an 8.5,
Yeah,
and they only do the 4.7.
yeah, they're not really cool about the whole bonus thing.
Yeah, so you know what? I'll just do it the old-fashioned
Just do it the old-fashioned way.
way.
So get on the Dane Granger website. If you Google it, it will come.
Yeah.
And then
The more you Google it, the more it'll go to the top of the Google
the-
search
to-
engine.
yeah,
so-
exactly.
So do it.
So, and buy copies for you, buy them for your family, send them across country, because one, it's a great movie. Two, we need to get more attention to this area in the country to show them that we're making great movies. So buy some copies, send it to some fucking people. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about more David Lynch than you have heard in a long time. Coming right back to you.
All the David Lynch.
All the David Lynch.
All
All the
David
David Lynch. A candy-colored clown they call the Sandman tiptoes in my room every night just to sprinkle stardust and to whisper, go to sleep, everything is alright. I close my eyes and then I drift away into the magic sleep. I softly say a silent prayer that lovers do, and then I dream my dreams of you. In dreams I walk with you. In dreams I talk with you. Hi, Frank.
What? No smile for Daddy? You guys want to go for a joyride? How about you? You. Oh.
You are a gentleman and a scholar. I don't care what Rusty says about you. Anyways, I wanted to talk for a minute about a hot button topic in filmmaking right now. That's diversity. I wanted to stand... Oh, hold on. I'm going to start over that again. I tripped over my own frickin' tongue. All right, just for a moment on Film Speak, I'm going to get serious for a second. I want to talk about a hot button subject in filmmaking right now. It's diversity. On one hand, I want to talk about the importance and the need for it. And on the other hand, I want to talk about the annoyance and the nuances of it. Diversity is important because we need more people with more stories and more voices to get into filmmaking. Not just filmmaking, but the other areas of art and media. There's been too often throughout our history of media in the past 100 years where there's only been one kind of voice projecting through our TVs and our movies. It was controlled. It was, you know, let's face it, a bunch of stuffy old white guys, right? So it's important for us to get people of different nationalities, different cultures, different backgrounds, different genders, everybody to get in there, to get behind the camera, to get in front of the camera, to write, to tell stories. This is a big deal. And that's the one side. That's the important side. The other side, though, that kind of gets me is, well, I swear there are some people out there who use diversity to their own, shall we say, means, you know? If you weren't a woman filmmaker, would you give a fuck about other women filmmakers making it? You know, or are you just doing it and trying to project it because that's what you are? Do you really care about the cause, or are you in it for your own selfish need? You know, that goes for true for any group. What we should be after is finding the best people who can tell the most wide-ranging stories, who work well together, despite what they have hanging between their legs, or what shade of brown their frickin' skin is. And I'm going to get scientific for a second, because this is a rant, and I'm allowed to go on tangents. All right? We're all the same color, okay? We're all the same race. They mapped the genome in 2003, they mapped the human genome from everybody around the world, and they found out, wow, big fucking shocker, we're all the same people. Okay, we're all the same color, from the lightest tint of brown to the darkest tone of brown. We are all one people. Let's just get over it. Except for like albinos, because I mean, I know they're just regular, it's a skin pigment thing, but it's just creepy looking, you know? That could just be kind of scary. But we should give them a break too. Let's let them tell a story, just as long as it's not a horror movie. Yeah. Anyways, that's my rant. You can take it, leave it. I don't care. David Lynch.
Oh yeah, we always get off track.
That's
always.
okay. That's okay.
Chris Pratt could be in a David Lynch movie.
Because it's you, I don't mind doing an extra special, little longer episode. You know.
That always happens.
It always happens. Yeah, we just can't shut the fuck up. Is what the
It
problem
always
is.
Always. So the new Twin Peaks. I've not read a lot on it. I've been trying to stay in the dark because I want to be surprised.
I've been keeping up on casting.
See, I've
right?
even tried to avoid that.
Yeah.
But Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
That one has me excited.
which I think is really cool because, well, you know, he's directed some of Trent Reznor's videos, you know.
It is Trent Reznor.
And it's Trent Reznor. Kind of reminds me of having Bowie in
Yeah.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, so an iconic just music legend. Which, I mean, everything with Lynch though, like he has his soundtrack, his music,
Yeah.
his scores, everything just plays to the atmosphere. I think that's why I like Lynch so much. Like his atmosphere is just as much of the character as the
Atmospheres,
character.
the colors.
Yep.
You know, he puts so much into the mise scene. You know, every framed shot is a story unto itself.
Yep,
You know, and not a lot of directors do that enough.
absolutely.
You know, it was more of a, the mise scene setup was more of a thing, 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, Hitchcock, Wilder, Houston, you know, everything had context and reason within the shot. You know, why are these items organized in this table around the actor this way? And David Lynch definitely does
Yeah,
that.
he's. We need to get him on the show.
God, I would do anything.
That's what we need. We need to
Yeah.
get David Lynch on Film Speak.
On Film
so
Speak.
then you and I would be silent.
Oh yeah.
Like we
yeah.
wouldn't have anything to say.
Yeah. You just talk.
Can I lick your shoe?
Can I lick your shoe?
Like,
It would be all like, well, Bill and Stephanie, I'm really happy to be on your show, Film Speak. I'm a big lover of film, and I'm glad you like film too.
yeah, yeah. That would probably be accurate.
I watched several interviews of him. I mean, I love that he is on, was on the Cleveland show
Okay, yeah.
as the bartender. Just that they got him to come on and do that.
He, I think I appreciate the fact that he does what he wants to do.
Does what he wants to do. Well, you
But
take.
he knows he's worth it. So he doesn't like he does what he wants to do. But if you want him, if he's going to do something and get paid for it,
Yeah.
he knows what he's worth.
Well, he took Eraserhead, right, which first film took him 4 years to make because he constantly kept running out of money for film, had to work 4 or 5 months to be able to buy film again, and then do the whole process over. So that alone is impressive to keep your actors committed for that long, you know, to work 4 years like that.
Yep.
And then after it was made, that's what got him Elephant Man.
Yeah.
From Mel Brooks, of all people. I watched an interview with David Lynch, and he said that they were looking for somebody to direct Elephant Man. And he didn't realize that the guy he was working with, his agent basically, had taken him to Mel Brooks's house. And they said, well, they're going to watch Eraserhead. They'll be out in a minute. And Mel Brooks came out of the screening room and was just like, David, you're a madman. I love it. You got the fucking job. You know, and then that's what really, I mean, Eraserhead started him, but Mel Brooks hiring him to direct Elephant Man is really what made his career.
Yeah, but it takes that kind of passion and drive, and you have to go and go. And, well, you know, I know. It's constant. It's never ending.
It's constant. When I get done shooting here today, I'm going to go home. I'm writing a web series. I'm actually doing the 5th rewrite on it. Hopefully, the last rewrite on it. You know, but that's what we do.
Yeah, it's always something. You just have to keep going. And the market's so flooded right now, and there's so much out there that it's hard to get noticed.
Yeah.
So it's like. And you want to promote your other filmmakers and your other artists and things like that, and they want to promote you, but you're in the same circle, so you're just being recycled, sadly.
Yeah.
It's hard to really get a reach to get noticed on any other level.
I hate to say it, but that's why I've kind of stepped back from doing that. I mean, I'm still working just as much, but I realized that getting on my Facebook page and Twitter and talking about myself was basically for my own fucking ego.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually getting me anywhere, you know? It was, look at me, look at me, look at me, you know? And I'm not that kind of person. I'm very much, and this is probably one of my setbacks in this profession, because I do know film, I know how to film, I know how to do so many different areas in filmmaking, but I am just very much a dig me or fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, I like me, I could give a fuck less if you like me.
Yep.
You know, and that's a disadvantage in this field.
Well, that's kind of what with Dane. Like we had a couple distribution deals, and everyone is out for themselves, which is, you know, that's true. That's that's human nature. But I was like, fuck it. If we're gonna make 30%, I can just do it myself and make 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one that's in debt for this damn thing.
Well, and, that's one of the things I really respect about David Lynch is he makes these films and he makes them not worrying about profit.
Right.
And actually, they usually don't make a profit for 2 to 3 or 4 years
Or longer.
or longer. I mean, they always...
Until hipsters come around, and then David Lynch is cool.
Yeah, no, he's cool again, yeah.
Then PBR prices go up.
Damn you, David Lynch.
Way to go, David Lynch. I can't drink cheap anymore.
Can't drink cheap. You made Pepsi Blue Ribbon too fucking cool.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Way to be that guy.
Way to be that guy.
Way to be that guy.
Well,
I think
But-
that's the way to be, though. Like, I don't think people should make anything with the side of profit.
yeah.
Like, that's not the reason that people get into, well, some people get into entertainment for that purpose.
Yeah.
But, you know, it should be what it used to be. You do it because you love it, because you're passionate about it, because you have a story to tell, or because you have, you know, a song to sing or a painting to show. Like, you do it because it's a piece of you want to share with the world.
Absolutely.
And now everyone just sees dollar signs.
Well, you know, it's a side thing for this business that people want to be, you know, rich and famous. You know, I'm not. I just want to be able to make a living, doing what I love.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about jet set lifestyles. You know, I'd like to be comfortable and be working on making films every fucking day for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's just like with Dane. My credit card's already paid off. I paid it off. You know,
Yeah.
that movie was $15,000 after it was all said and done,
Wow.
and I paid it off. And now I'm like, I just want my cast and crew to get noticed.
Yeah.
Like, Brian Jolliffe, his talent is fucking mind blowing. I could not have picked a better cinematographer
Yeah.
at all.
Oh,
And then he co-directed some of the tighter scenes.
Yeah.
That, you know, I couldn't get in there, like the car stuff and the bathroom stuff, and, you know, a lot of stuff like that. He took the helm on it. Yeah.
I thought it was shot beautifully.
He is. Yeah, he's gonna be, if he keeps up with it. I've seen his reel. He has an eye, unlike.
That's something I have to do because I need I've done enough where I need a cinematographer's reel, I need to make a director's reel, I need to make a screenwriter's reel, and I need to make an actor's reel.
Have fun with that. Those
Yeah.
sound like fun Saturday afternoon projects.
Projects. Well, that's the thing. I gotta get all my other
Don't
crap
drink
out of the way.
PBR while you're doing it though, because it's too expensive.
Oh, PBR is not my thing. I'm a bourbon guy.
Oh. Okay.
Let me hit that. That's so bad. Beer upsets my tummy, but I can drink bourbon all fucking night. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not taking. If we go on a date, I'm not paying. Like, it's on you. We're going Dutch because I'm not buying your drink.
Well, since I don't drink, also I'm a cheap date because within 3, I'm pretty lit. So.
I can't say that.
I have the alcohol tolerance of a 12-year-old girl.
I have the libido of a 16-year-old boy.
We should go on a date.
We
We're
should.
a match.
Like, we're awesome. Like, some crazy adventures would happen.
That's a movie that needs to be written.
Oh God.
What do you think of Dune when it comes to David Lynch?
I enjoy Dune because, well, I like sci-fi.
Yeah.
I like horror. I like some of the darker, more twisted, off-the-wall stuff that you watch and you're like, what the fuck did I just sit through? And you have to watch 2 or 3 times, and you still don't have any clue what you just saw.
Yeah.
So it was good. Is it my favorite? No. Blue Velvet's my favorite.
Yeah.
And I think just because that's the first time, I mean, I was introduced to Lynch with Twin Peaks, which I was way too young, but my mom was awesome, and you know, she did the whole recorded off TV on the VHS.
Yeah.
And I'd watch it when she had time because she had 3 bratty kids at home. So, you know, got my hands on those. But Blue Velvet was the first time that I actually paid attention to his filler, his B-roll.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, the ants and just the close-up of the ear and just little things like that.
The little thing from the beginning, because I love in Blue Velvet how it shows the Pleasant Valley Sunday picturesque suburb.
Yep.
And then it goes down and it's showing the layers and how decayed it is underneath the surface.
Yeah, that was the first one that, so I think that will always be my first love with Lynch. But Dune's good. Dune's not one I watch frequently.
Yeah.
Like Eraserhead, I've seen a billion times. Elephant Man I've seen at least 20 times.
I know it's like hugely long to watch, but have you ever seen the unedited Dune?
No.
So much better, makes so much more sense.
Really?
I mean, it's 4.5 hours long.
Okay, I have
Right.
all that time.
Yeah, but if you can find the director's cut of Dune, how David Lynch originally meant for it to be seen, it's pretty gorgeous, and it just makes more sense.
Makes more sense?
Yeah, all those plot holes from having it cut down to 2 hours, it takes care of those.
Yeah.
The only thing that drove me crazy with Dune was they would walk through these giant $1 million sets and then go into this little 4x5 room and do a scene. And that's probably the only thing that would kill me, because if you're going to have these
Yeah.
giant sets, why don't we just do the fucking scene in the giant set?
Yeah.
But he had such an awful time making that for Hollywood that he never went back to Hollywood again.
Good for him.
And that's how Blue Velvet got made, because he wanted to do an anti-Hollywood movie.
Good for him. And he's done a lot. He's influenced a lot.
Oh yeah.
A lot of filmmakers that you just see his influence in their work. But you see it with, Kubrick has, and so many great directors have come in and influenced, and people don't want to admit, I did this shot because of that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, and I'm like, well, the best form of flattery is.
Now you see, I'm totally straight up about it, because I'll even I'll write my storyboard, Hitchcock, Dial M for Murder, overhead shot. We're gonna go to a Quentin Tarantino swing long tracking shot from Reservoir Dogs.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's how I direct, because when I'm thinking of shots from other movies, it's combining them in a way nobody's thought to combine them yet.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just, and everyone does it. Just they don't admit it.
They don't admit it, but Martin Scorsese said it. He said, "You want to be a filmmaker, watch the masters and steal.
Absolutely.
Just steal well."
Yep. Yeah. And Lynch is one that is worthy of being stolen from.
Oh, yeah.
He's,
Well, we were talking, I think Blue Velvet's a better movie, right? I think Blue Velvet's probably his best movie. But Wild at Heart's my favorite.
it's a good one. It is. But I think Blue Velvet for me is just because it was the first that it captivated me.
I saw Blue Velvet, but I saw it on video when I was a teen. And then when Wild Heart came out, I was stationed in the Army, and I went and saw that.
So you
I saw
got to
that
see that
in the theater.
theater.
Yeah. And it's because it's a love story, but
My
it's,
age, I didn't see either one in the theater.
thanks for making me feel just a little bit older.
I mean,
But it had William Dafoe's character in it. I went to go see it primarily because of Nicolas Cage. I was big into Nicolas Cage back then.
Who wasn't?
Yeah, it's early 90s. Yeah.
Nicolas Cage was the shit in the early 90s.
When Con Air and The Rock came out,
Yep.
I mean, I like both those movies, right? But I knew that would be the death of Nicolas Cage as I had always known and loved him.
That's kind of when it all started just stopping for him. And
Yeah.
then he was in,
Well, he became more of for a while, the big budget star.
and he did that Wicker Man remake.
Oh, that was
It
awful.
was the worst thing I'd ever sat through.
God, because I was such a fan of the original. And I thought Nicolas Cage is going to be in The Wicker
How
Man.
can they screw this up?
Yeah, boy, fucking did they.
Well, that was like when they had Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor in Return. And I was like, Kevin Spacey, he's going to be a great Lex Luthor.
Well, actually,
But then everything else about that movie, I was like, what did they just do to...
yeah. He was the only redeeming quality of that whole frickin' movie.
I think Parker Posey's hot.
Okay, yeah, Parker Posey is hot. I've had a thing for her since Dazed and Confused.
So she
that
redeemed it a little
that doesn't
bit.
hurt. For me, it was him when he asked Lois Lane a question, and he interrupts her, and he's just like, wrong, wrong, wrong. For me, you just take that 5-minute scene. Okay, that was it. That was the good part of the movie. You just watch that. You can frickin' leave the rest of that Superman movie behind.
That one was a failed attempt.
Which also I thought was horrible, because I thought Brandon Routh was going to be a perfect Superman.
I did too. He had the look, he had the demeanor,
Yeah.
he just had everything. Not only Superman, but the Clark Kent aspect.
Yeah.
He had it down, and that kind
And
of.
that weighs all on the directors, writers, and producers.
Yeah.
It's like I've thought about it over the years, the Daredevil movie, because
Mm-hmm.
for the longest time, I held it against Jennifer Garner and
Ben
Affleck and everybody. Then I realized, you know what? They were actually casted pretty well.
Yep.
It was all on the director, the writers, and the producers. Those are the guys who need to die.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause that Daredevil movie had more potential. It shouldn't have been as bad
It
as
was,
it
yeah,
was.
I was so disappointed. I like to tell people that it made me feel like Jodie Foster in The Accused bent over a pinball machine.
We always discuss that as well. So we discussed David Lynch, PBR, and rape.
And rape.
I don't know if we should hang out together. Who's bailing us out?
It sounds like a raucous
Where's
good
your
time.
daughter? We're gonna need bail money if
Yeah.
this continues.
I'll let you know. I'll be in the jail cell next to you. We'll have a great time.
Then it would be like, I love you, Philip Morris. It would just be a whole. Someone should just follow us around.
Yeah. You know what? That's what we should do. We could just make a movie. We'll get like a couple people to run camera and sound, and then we'll just go to New York and wander the city for 2 days and just film it all.
That would be.
Give me 3 hits of acid. We'll have a great time.
We would be in trouble.
We'd be in trouble.
We would be in a lot of trouble.
But I tell you what, that might be the breakout hit we
It
need.
might be what gets us noticed when we get arrested.
We get arrested. Yeah, there is no such thing as bad
Like
publicity.
we have to have a GoFundMe not to make the film, but to get out of jail. We don't need funding for our project. We just need funding to get out of.
We need to get out of jail so we can show you our project. We need to get it out of confiscation.
All right. So when David Lynch watches this and we get arrested, he'll bail us out.
He'll bail us out. Yeah. Now, what do you think about some of his more newer films?
Which ones are you?
Well, okay, I really enjoyed Lost Highways.
I like Lost Highway. I like Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive. Okay, I watched that. The wife went to bed, and I was still sitting in the chair, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I got to watch that one more time.
Yeah, it was. And then with that one, I appreciate like when they sent it out to the theaters, like he handwrote notes, like how the volume had to be played. He was like, ignore all directions from the theater house.
Yeah.
Turn it up to this. You know, it has to be played. And I was like, that man just makes art. Like but he wants you to see it the way he made
Intended
it.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like dealing with like sometimes because I love to cook, right? And I swear when somebody before they taste it goes to put salt or pepper or anything
You're like,
on
no,
it.
no, no.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'll fucking hit you. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking smack you. I just spent 4 hours cooking that for you to put salt and pepper without tasting it. Fucking choke you. So I can completely understand.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have a certain vision.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to tell people like, nope, it has to be this way, it has to be that way. And
Well-
that's so many people that they fold because of the money and
Yeah.
because of the fame and getting noticed that they're just like, okay, if that's what you want, that's how you want to do it. Okay, let's do this, let's do that, and he just doesn't budge,
He doesn't care.
which is cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
which is why we fucking love
Yeah.
David Lynch.
Yeah, David Lynch is punk as fuck.
Well, I'm so glad that he's doing the Twin Peaks show, and I hope that this will be a gateway because I would love to see him get involved in series again.
Absolutely.
I know
Absolutely.
Quentin Tarantino has said that because he only plans to make 10 movies.
Right.
And that's what he said. He says, I'm planning on moving to television, that I want to do series now.
That'd be good. That would be good too.
That would be good too because it would give him a chance to really grow characters,
Right.
past the 2 to 3 hour time
Right.
frame. Being able to spend a whole season developing a character, I would love that.
Netflix better get on that now.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
they're genius with what they're doing, so why not go ahead and
I have Netflix purely because of the Marvel TV shows.
they're killing it.
Yeah,
They are killing it. They are setting up the Defenders arc like so, and the Punisher and the the casting, everything about that.
My
they're
favorite
just-
Punisher. Yeah, here lately we've gotten. We were talking about the best Spider-Man so far.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think the best Punisher that we've had so
Yep.
far. Though I really like Thomas Jane.
He did good.
Thought he did that. That was the best Punisher movie
Yeah.
out of all 3 I think that have been made.
Yeah. But yeah, Netflix is killing it with the Marvel, which is good. They had because DC owned the TV shows for
Yeah.
so long but Marvel killed them cinematically.
Yeah.
And now Marvel's just
Taking over the
they're
TVs too.
relentless. I mean, it's just a lot of. But Disney knows what they're doing too.
Yeah.
They have big dogs backing them now.
Well, hopefully they'll take Zack Snyder out of the equation and things will get a little better.
Did you not like Batman vs Superman?
I haven't watched it yet. I have it at home.
Oh.
Um,
I liked it.
Well, I know I'm going to like it, but it's the type of thing where I know probably because Zack Snyder, the last Superman movie he did, You know,
I liked it.
I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it.
I didn't love it. It's not my favorite Superman.
No, not even close.
But Superman 3.
Superman 2.
I like 3.
I like
Red Kryptonite.
I like Terrence Stamp. He's one of my favorite actors, and him as General Zod is probably one of my favorite performances.
Zack Snyder, he's done things that I love. I loved Watchmen.
I loved Watchmen. I love 300.
I loved 300. Sucker Punch, I really enjoyed that. I loved the opening montages that he did in that.
Visually?
Yeah, visually.
Visually, I love Sucker Punch, but I found the plot and
There
the
was
characters.
a plot. There was just a bunch of girls running around in skirts. Like, there
Oh, you
was a plot.
See, that's my problem with like his Spider-Man movie or the Superman films, right? Is he is really great at making everything look slick and pretty and keeping that kind of dystopic look to it,
Right.
you know? And but when it comes to character, motivation, development, it's fucking not there,
Yeah.
you know? And I have a beef with him because I really liked him until I saw an interview with him, and he said, I'm going to do Watchmen because I'm going to save it from the Terry Gilliams of the world.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck you, if you could be half the director Terry Gilliam is.
Yeah.
And he lost me after that. And because of that is why when I watch his shit,
I think you'll like Batman vs.
pick it
Superman.
apart.
It's dark.
It
is dark.
My son tells me that I'm going to like it too.
Ben Affleck is the best Batman, and I cannot believe I'm saying that.
Really?
He is the dark, twisted, tormented Bruce Wayne, like the older Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
No one else could have done it. It just blew me away.
Well,
how-
I'm kind of excited about the new Batman movie because I think Ben Affleck's a better director than he is an actor.
Wait till you see him as Batman though, and he does Batman and Bruce Wayne, and that's hard when you're doing characters like that.
Well, he's talking about taking over the Batman movie, the standalone Batman movie.
I'm alright with that.
So I'm okay with that because I feel he's a better director than actor.
Well, and he's a fan,
Yeah,
so anytime you have a fan involved, they're gonna do it right.
yeah.
Like they know how important it is to keep it what it's supposed to be.
Gone, what is that? Gone Daddy Gone? Wait a minute, that's not a film song. Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah.
I was going to say Gone Daddy Gone, that's the films. But that movie, when I saw that, it just blew me away.
Yeah, he has a lot of talent, and looking at where he came from, I mean, you saw it with Good Will Hunting, and just seeing the progression of.
Yeah.
He's a
Good Will Hunting, let's take it a step back from there. School Ties.
School Ties. I was talking about like on the writing side and behind
Oh,
the
the
scenes,
writing
but
side behind the scenes,
School
gotcha.
Ties. I haven't seen School Ties in.
Well, him and Matt Damon both, they play the bad guys.
Yeah, and I've not seen that movie in years. And when I say years, I mean probably 15 or better. God, it's been a while.
It's been a while. I keep telling my kids that they should watch it, that it gives you a different perspective on Brandon Fraser.
Yeah.
You know, with because he's Gods and Monsters. I thought was just an incredible movie. I think he's a better actor than what he's being used for now.
Well, yeah.
He should do a David Lynch movie.
He should.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Brendan Fraser and Chris Pratt.
And Chris Pratt in a David Lynch movie.
Yeah.
As lovers.
If anyone could do it, Lynch could do it.
Lynch could do it.
Absolutely. Can we get Tom Hardy in there? Because he's pretty.
I love Tom Hardy.
He's fucking phenomenal. Like,
When I first saw Rock and Rolla,
that's yeah. Like
I was just like that guy's somebody to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, and he did not hesitate with that part. Like he nailed everything about that.
Have you seen The Drop Off?
No.
Okay, Tom Hardy movie. You have to. After we're done here, I'll tell you a little bit about it.
Okay.
You're gonna go home and look it up.
Okay.
Well, I tell you what. I guess that's a good signal.
Yeah.
Fucking thanks for coming on my show
All right, man, thanks for having me.
again.
Hey, anytime. Anytime.
And yeah, we're going to have to cause some trouble together.
Absolutely.
If you guys, by the time this comes out, read the newspaper.
if we're in jail, come bail
Yeah,
us
just come
out.
bail us out. You know, start a movement, and free Stephanie and Bill.
It's kind of like the Save Ferris sign.
Sounds like Safe Ferris.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you, and we'll catch you again on Film Speak. Yeah, I guess that's it. Fuck off. We'll see you later. Thank you. God, I love having
we
you
really
on.
get so off
Oh, yeah.
track.
Okay, I'm going right into the outro. Keep recording, and outro. I always love it when Stephanie comes on. If I was a short, bullish little lesbian, I would be her. There is no doubt in my mind. She's one of my favorite people. I hope we get to work together soon because we're supposed to be collaborating. I'm going to be DP. That's It's director of photography. You got to watch that when you Google that. On her newest short film that's going to be coming out. And so keep an eye out for that, and I'm sure when we do it, I'm going to drag her ass back on this show. So thank you. Thanks for joining us, and go watch some independent films, and we'll see you next time on Film Speak. All right, next segment, stop record.
The day you left me, I almost died. Listening to my cure tapes till I started to cry. Kicked in my tape deck with a combat boot. Then I went to town to find something to shoot. Ended up at a stop and go, but why there? But the cashier was pretty, so I pulled her hair. She tried to slap me and spray me with mace, but that just made me mad and I spat in her face. After that, I don't know why, but we fell in love. I guess you really liked it when push came to shove. Life was keen and sex was good, but after 2 weeks she went to Hollywood.
We're going to go right into it. Thank you. Welcome back. Sitting here talking with Stephanie Hensley. We're going to talk about a favorite director for both of us.
Absolutely.
It's David Lynch.
I think David Lynch started our love affair.
Yeah, that's.
I think we owe this to
David Lynch, because
Yeah.
that was one of the first conversations we had.
Yep.
Was on David Lynch. I think Joanna introduced us.
Yep.
And you were wearing Blue Velvet,
Blue Velvet
t-shirt with
yep.
a car on it, and man, we just started talking about David Lynch right away.
Yeah. It was love at first sight of that t-shirt done, over with.
Done and over with. Well, you know what it is almost instantly I could spot that you were a dork like me.
Well, absolutely.